Talking politics is not my thing, but staying quiet about the injustices which I have first-hand experiences is hard to do. In light of the recent events in Nigeria and seeing I have this YouTube platform, I thought, why not use this opportunity to share my stories? I feel it's my duty because I am a citizen of Nigeria. I know almost every Nigerian who has grown up in or have visited Nigeria at some point has faced some form of corruption, either by police/SARS officers or someone in position of power or authority. Growing up in Nigeria wasn't easy, especially talking about the government, talking about corruption, police brutality, the coups, kidnapping by people in power, and our human rights abuse. My first close encounter with the Nigerian police was when I was hit by a bullion van as a passenger seated on a motorcycle, also known as Okada, in Allen Avenue on the mainland in Lagos. Obviously, the driver and I shouted and cursed, which made the van pull over, and a police officer stepped out of the van, came directly to me like I was the driver, shouted in my face, saying things like, "I will waste you and nothing will happen." I stood my ground, which pissed him off, and he shot at me in broad daylight on a busy road, aiming at my foot, which he missed. Thank God for that. And you know what? He proceeded to tell me if I don't keep quiet, the next one is going in my head. That is, the next bullet is going in my head. I am lucky to be here today to share my story. Growing up, I have experienced 6 coups and a few attempted ones. And you can imagine the situation of the country during these times. In 1994, a lot of people lost their lives in the hand of the government. People in power or connection to people in power. And what happened? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. The world just sat there and let Nigeria burn at that time. Nothing happened. But that stops now. Also, in 1994, on the mainland in Lagos, I was running away from soldiers that were deployed on my street by the president at the time. Running away from them, turned around to see how far I had left them behind, only to be staring directly into the barrel of an automatic weapon. In my country, the country was really hot at the time. Soldiers, you can imagine soldiers on the street committing all sorts of atrocities that is against our human rights or human rights. No jobs for graduates, and this is still happening in 2020. In 2020, when the world has moved on, or the world is going miles per hour and we're just sitting there. Not only the youth who have to endure. In recent years, as a grown man, on return to Nigeria, I have been stopped and searched repeatedly. Just because I got earrings, I wear a lot of skull bracelets and a full beard. Really? Being taken to the station because I was adamant I wasn't giving no handout. And asked to come in. The police station was dark, in total darkness. I was asked to come in. I refused. God knows what would have happened if I had gone in. Another occasion, I was pulled over by 6 SARS officers. They demanded to see my car documentation. Fine. When they found out I had all my car documents intact, they asked to see my phone. Why do you want to see my phone? I refused. They proceeded to tell me what they could do to me and what they will do if I refuse to comply or settle them. I had to settle them. I want to leave. And they demanded 60,000 naira. I didn't have that money. If I had the cash, I would have given it to them right on the spot after all the threats. But I had to plead. I had to plead with them for the sake of my life, and they marched me to the ATM with their guns pointed at me like that to withdraw the most my bank would allow me to withdraw from the cash point, which was 20,000 naira. Yes, I know I paid, but I paid for me and my family. Otherwise, I might not be here today to share my story. This and what is the story of many. Some don't make it to tell their stories, and it is us who have managed to escape with our lives who must fight for them. So those young ones that are coming up don't have to endure this rubbish. It is time for change. We need reform. Too many illiterate officers in the police force. Too many corrupt officials in our civil service. We say no to corruption. We say no more injustice, no more bad governance. Silent/useless government with the only thing the most officials do to earn efficiency is to raid the public purse and steal from its people. Keeping the poor poor while the rich and their family prosper. Those who should care the most, they do the worst. Milking the country, milking its citizens, killing its citizens. That's Nigeria for you in a nutshell. I'm a Nigerian. I love my country. I hate the government.